Hello and welcome to another video where I'm going to be roasting and coaching one of my viewers. This time we got another TVZ from Mercury Pool, who is a 3.2 Diamond League Terran. And I picked this one in the hopes that we don't see mech like in the first replay that we were watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. I feel like it's very informative and hopefully as well a little bit funny. As always, I'll be roasting my viewers, but all in good spirit. The main idea here is to do replay analysis, but I like to analyze by pointing out how bad people are or how bad something is. Because you can always do better. You can always find mistakes. We're gonna fast forward wherever we can. Oh no! Not like this! Don't do this! Why do they always do this? Scouting at 16 supply? I've never taught this! Where do you get this from? Nobody does this. Why do people do this? Why do, like, in real life, like, what do you do? Like, you have, like, money and, like, you burn it? That's what it feels like. It hurts me. You're wasting so much money by scouting so early on. And I feel like I'm gonna repeat myself so many times. This is gonna be a theme of like the TVZs in particular. Like, what are you scouting? There's a hatch first. It's not like he can have zerglings out. Even if it's pull first, like, you can defend everything by scouting after the barracks. And like, why are you going in the main? There's like a hatch trio. Like, what do you think is like gonna come here? Like, yeah, you saw the spawning pool. Like, what else can he bake? Nothing. And then we go reactor, the safest build on the planet. At least if you want to expand. Not like this. This is a very tight build as well because it's more safe and less greedy. So like, you have already wasted so much money and now this. This doesn't seem like... If I see reactor first at higher level, I'm like, this could be something. But if I see reactor first at this level, I don't wanna know what's gonna happen next here. Factory is the correct choice. That is good. Well timed as well, I give that. Well, to be honest, actually, you could have made the factory and then the Marines get a little bit earlier, but at least you get that correct. Gotta point out the positives, even if they are only a few. You do want to send the Marines to the low ground to get rid of them by lowering the depot. Oh, the Marines are still going the long way. Don't tell me that Overlord escapes. One of the points of going reactor first is like to hunt down overlords. You have enough Marines anyway. It's not like he can have circling speed. You scouted like at like -1 minute in the game, so you shouldn't be that afraid. As long as you have like rally all the Marines and you're making a depot at this time of the game. Your command center just finished. You're 30 out of 46 supply. Don't play StarCraft if you don't have a build order. You need to get this correctly. You're burning money again. Like, with this money, you could have already gotten a starport. Now you're getting a tech lab on the barracks, and you're taking a second gas. Ah, this is another game where I get a heart attack, especially because that gas is not fully saturated. 2 out of 3. Normally I say fix the rat numbers, because whenever you have oversaturation, the number here that shows above the command center is red, and we're making an armory. Is this gonna be a Hellbat push with 1000 gas in the bank while doing like the push? Absolutely. We're getting stim. There's actually a build order. I know a version of this build. There's something that Clem did in the past where he went reactor expand. He pushed out with 6 Marines. And then immediately with the next Hellions, he only took 1 gas, made the armory, and then tried to deny the 3rd base and put on some pressure. This is not the version that Clem is doing. This is like... I don't know where you got this from, or like if this is like an offense. Like, this is like an imaginary build. Like, it's better than the build order that you copy from the AI, but it's not really that great. I do like that you're making SCVs, and now there's a rat number. First there was 2, and now there's 4. This is like one of the worst games so far already. Now there's 4, and 15 here. Please fix this. And you're staying home with Hellions while going reactor expand. Like, look at your map vision. You have no idea what is going on. And now we're just randomly pushing out. Like, this is scouting Zergling that sees this. Like, obviously he's gonna... There's an overlord. No, the overlord is not here anymore. Like, obviously he's gonna know you're doing that now, but like I want to pay attention to your transition. By the way, now you're not supply block, that's fine. We're making 1 barracks, we're making 2 barracks. Okay, 2 eBays. Where are you going? Did you send this replay like on purpose or to like troll me?
Is under attack.
This is not like you even scouted where the Zerg spawned, and now we're going like all the way towards the 5th base of the Zerg. And now there's the depot wall is open. Was that a mistake? Is that a wall? No, it isn't. This is not a wall. Even if the depot is raised, there's no way you can wall with 2 depots and a command center here, right? Yeah, there's not a wall. No, this is actually one of the worst games. Don't do this to me. And now the push hits like 10 minutes late. At this point, you could have had like battle cruisers out. And we're not even morphing the Hellbats. We're just A-moving without even morphing the Hellbats. Now we are. But we're losing everything at home. We're making a Wither Mine out of a Tech Lab factory. At least we have stim. Are we using stim? Like the fact that you're like, sort of like the fact that you're doing so much damage kind of shows how much potential you have. Because so far this game was really, I think I pointed out a lot of things that really bothered me. Like this game was like so far from perfection, like there's so many things to optimize, and yet you're still winning. That should motivate you. There's so much potential. By the way, you should kill the 3rd. You see the creep. There's creep everywhere here, so you should follow it. Don't tell me you don't know. There's creep here. Oops, sorry. I'm a little bit too in rage mode. Your opponent is making spine crawlers. You're gonna push up into the spine crawlers now? There's no way you're gonna do that. You wouldn't dare. Killing the overlords is fine. If you just run towards the 3rd, you can get that. We're getting surrounded, but we're trading well because we have Hellbats against Zerglings and Stim Marines. There's a base here. What is the transition, by the way? So the transition, like, I do like, you're getting 3 barracks, you're getting, well, you could get like a reactor with the factory and like a reactor for the starport in particular to get medevacs faster. If you do a Hellbat push, you don't really need like fast tanks behind it. You can always make a tech lab really fast, but you can't really make a reactor fast. So after the Hellbat push, I would prefer making a reactor and the starport maybe. But I would definitely prefer some E-base. E-base would be amazing. 1 and 2. Yeah. What? First there were 4? Sorry, 2, then 4, and now 2? You really gotta fix your gas mining, my friend. And we actually pushed up the ramp. Or did we get baited into? Like, did we just not pay attention? We actually pushed up the ramp even though there's a free base over here. Like, did you really think he would stay on 1 bit? Well, maybe he does. But we're not losing this game, right? Like, this guy has a 2nd hatchery. But we have triple command center. We have double EVA now. We have a starport that can put on a reactor. Maybe even swap here. It makes a reactor. It's fine. Get upgrades here. Get upgrades here. You should always... So the way that you spend money as a Terran is if you have so much gas. Like right now we have 13 Marines. So you could have like made another reactor. You could have like used the reactor from the barracks for the starport to get medevacs faster. Because right now your priority should be to spend your gas. Because you have enough Marines for like you always want to keep like a nice Marine to medevac ratio. Right now we have like 13 Marines. So you could definitely make some medevacs now, but like... And you have the money, so you should be spending the money for upgrades and 2 medevacs now, and then you'd be spending your money way more efficiently, because then you would have like a nice medevac to Marine ratio, which is actually quite important, because obviously you want to have like, yeah, for each like, for like every 10 Marine you want to have like a medevac basically. So if you have like 60 Marines, you want to have at least 6 medevacs, maybe even like 8 at that point. We're not doing that. We're getting the reactor. We're getting the upgrades now. We're even getting an armory upgrade. Cool. We're not making SCVs, by the way. That should always be your main priority. Just keep on making SCVs. Take the base as soon as this one is fully saturated. Just take the next one. Add more barracks. You don't need to make marauders. Just make Marines. You make marauders later. We're getting to 5 barracks. That is perfect. And now we're pushing out, which I do not mind. This is not necessarily a bad push. Not necessarily a bad push by the Terran player here. Because we're just so far ahead at this point that it doesn't really matter. We're just so far ahead. But like, obviously, without Medivacs, this push is kind of garbage. And you're still not making Medivacs, so you should really get Medivacs. And like, while this push is going on, like, these are the things that I see every time, especially at like the low diamond or below level, like this one. So this is low diamond. Like, look at your macro in the background. Like this, like even if you micro this, this probably doesn't make a difference. So like, you don't need to micro this. Like, after you have established a position like this, you stim and A move your Marines. You see there's roaches and no banelings. You're on top of the 3rd. At this point, you can just ignore this. Because, like, it doesn't matter whether you micro or not. Like, let's face it, it doesn't matter whether you micro or not. Unless there's, like, banelings. In this case, it doesn't matter. You not microing is not going to make a difference in that. But what is going to make a difference is you not macroing. And that is really like what's going on here. You're making units, which is totally fine, but you like, your main priority should always be making SCVs. Because if you look at that, like, we're not making SCVs. Look at that. Now we are making SCVs, but after this, we're not making anymore. Maybe one more. Yeah, this one makes one more. But now, let's see. So like 8 minutes into the game, we stop making SCVs. And when do we start making SCVs again? 8 minutes into the game, we stopped. And when do we start again? Now we're like making some SCVs again and floating over. So like for roughly like 50 seconds for sure, you did not make SCVs and you did not focus on your economy. You're producing stuff, which is okay. But like really making SCVs is important. Like by far the most important step in StarCraft 2, especially if you're Diamond League Terran, is because that's how the math behind it works. So think about it this way. You have 200 supply. So the optimal work account, like you should always try and like get 60, at least 70 SCVs as early as possible. At least, like, yeah, 70. Sometimes if you have a very early 4th, you go up to, how many is that? 80, something like that. But like in this case, you should always like try and rush to that because the max out number is 200 supply. And like it really snowballs. Like if you have 47 SCVs, you're never going to be maxed. So you really need to like increase your economy and infrastructure so that you can take full advantage of the supply. Because if you have a 3rd base full... Oh my god, what is... At this point, you're probably trolling me with this replay. Like, look at how you're placing it. Like, or you were drunk when you were playing this game, I don't know. But yeah, like, imagine if you have 70 SCVs, that's 70 supply in SCVs. And then if 8 barracks, 2 factories, and a starport for production... You're gonna pump out so many units that you're constantly, as long as your economy is like untouched, you're constantly at like a high supply. And that's like how pro gamers do it as well. You really just wanna like make sure you go up to that high SCV count as fast as possible with as little risk as possible. So obviously you can't like start off the game by only making SCVs. But like at this point, where you're putting on pressure, where you have units, that's the beauty about Terran, you can make SCVs while making army. But the main priority should not necessarily be making army. That too, that is also a very big like priority. But if you are making bio, like let's scroll back, you are making bio. 8 minutes into the game, we're making stuff. But we're just not making SCVs. So if you just make SCVs while you make also normal like bio, you would have been on like 60 something SCVs now. You would just take your 3rd, you would just take another gas or 2, make a couple more SCVs, and then you would be at 70 SCVs at like 10 minutes into the game in this kind of game. And then you can really pump up your production, and then like it's so easy to constantly be at a high supply. And then that's like the point where your macro is out of control. Now I mentioned the 200 supply cap, that's why I said 70 to 80, because obviously that's like the most efficient. Like you don't want to go up to like, let's say 100 or 110 SCVs, because you don't have like 5 bases that easily. And if you go up to like that SCV count, like your production can't keep up anymore. You're going to be floating money and your army is just going to be too tiny. So that is the case, like the 70 to 80 work count is the most optimal for yeah, the 200 supply cap. So in StarCraft 2, you always want to go, like in a normal game, you always want to go up to 70 to 80 SCVs. That should be your main priority from the start. If you want to play a macro game. Especially here, we should have been making more SCVs while pushing. We should have landed the command center nicely, but I know you're just trolling. I hope so, at least. I excuse you with that. Don't micro, because like I said, it doesn't make a difference. We're obviously so far ahead in this game, we're not going to lose it. This is going to be a win, even if you... Honestly, like, yeah, I've already said it, there's so much room for improvement. This is, this was one of the most, like, ugliest builds and, like, executions I've seen in a while, but I don't, see that many games at this level, so maybe that's just the normal. I hope it's not. But what it really should do with you is, you have so much to improve on. Like, in this case now, we're macroing and we're going up to a highest. Why are you not fixing this? You're making stuff, you literally see that you command. Like, at this point, I think, like, don't you know better? Like, don't tell me this is, like I have no excuse. I want to, like, really insult you, but I don't want to say any bad words. But, like, you're making stuff here. Like, are you blind? Maybe he's blind. Okay, I'll give that to him. Like, maybe Mercury Pool here. Maybe you're blind. But, like, you're making a wall here. Like, don't you see that the command center is, like, misplaced a little bit? Yeah. But yeah, at this point, we're, like, just focusing on a macro. We're going up to, like, 60, 70 SCVs. I mean, this is, like, kind of late third base. So, like, the main base is already mapped out. So we don't really go up to, like, 70, 80. We go, like, 70 max. Then we take a fourth. You have a really good production. We can maybe get a second factory. Against roaches, maybe better to go tanks. In general, I would recommend tanks over water mines in TVZ. We go to, like, 8 barracks and 2 factories and a starport. There's a video, by the way, about that. If you want to learn about, like, production facilities, there's a video that I called, like, how much infrastructure you should get in a TVZ. It's one of the videos that has, like, it's one of my more popular videos because I uploaded it, like, years ago. It's still relevant. So just look at that if you want to know, like, how much production should I get. I'm actually going to link it. I hope I don't forget. If I forget, then somebody please mention it in the comments. But yeah, anyway, so you should get the nice production. You should always get upgrades, spend your gas, like, spend it on upgrades. Don't get crap units, but you're actually doing a good job in that regard. You have a nice bio to medevac ratio. I don't know if it's an accident or if you paid attention to that. I guess it's by accident, but yeah. Your command center being misplaced, I mean, maybe you play it without the monitor turned on or you're blind, so I can't really insult you for that. These missile turrets are kind of random. You don't really want to make, like, random missile turrets like this. And you also don't want to go into a second starport. That's why you should maybe watch my video about the infrastructure. Because you're kind of getting everything without a structure. You're getting a fourth base, which is nice. The missile turrets, I guess it's... Like, there's other things to pay attention to, I suppose. But, like, it's not the worst thing. And now, like, your macro is really peaking. I don't know if it's, like, because you're really far ahead in the game. But, like, now your macro is peaking. And obviously, if you're maxed out, you should be trading. And that's what we're doing. We're winning this game. We played terrible. There's so much to improve on. But at least we won the game. So good job in that regard. But yeah, I mean, I hope you were able to learn something. I mean, I'm kind of speechless. I don't know if you have the monitor turned off or you're blind, like I said. But yeah, like, really fix this. Like, what is it? Why are we not fixing it? Like, look at this. This is like a huge mistake. Like, you're mining so much less money because of that. Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at it to see if we missed anything, but no, not really. I hope you were able to learn something from this. And, learn a proper build. Your build is kind of garbage. Learn a proper build. You should wall properly, like, have a look at, like, a wall against, like, circling rhombus, because, like, usually 2 depots don't cover it, because if you make, like, a depot, like, next to the corner of a command center, so, like, here somewhere, units can still pass, like, through this angle here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, send me a reply on my Discord. There's also a link to my Discord. There's a channel where you can post replays. I don't have that many yet, so there's a good chance I'll pick one of yours. And besides that, I wish you a nice day and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.